Shara and Nella, oh my god, I'm so glad you guys got to hang out. It looked like so much fun. I'm so jealous, of course. Oh, someday I want to meet one of you guys. Recognize that, anybody? No? Yes? No? Okay, well, whatever. Just throw it out there in case. I have a confession to make. I have been a really ridiculously bad nerd fighter. On Tuesday, I watched my first Vlogbrothers video in like almost a month. And I know you don't technically have to be watching their videos in order to be a nerd fighter, but it still kind of feels like the fact that I didn't makes me a bit of a liar. All the time I read John's books and I listen to Hank's music, and in fact I have paper towns right here. And I just bought more of Hank's music the other day. But it still makes me feel like a bit of a liar because I feel like I want to be this person who's really involved in the community, and yet I'm not watching the part that has brought the community together. So what really got me interested in watching a Vlogbrothers video again wasn't actually anything to do with nerdfightery at all. It was something that I heard in my economics class. Well, in one of my economics classes. I'm taking 2. I'm actually taking 5 classes, but it feels like 7 because 2 of my classes actually meet for 6 hours a week and normal classes only meet for 3. We were actually talking about compounding interest, which I don't know if you remember, a long time ago John did a video on retirement funds, and he was saying that if we started by putting in our summer earnings from high school and college, we could make up to like $1 million, or no, it's a lot more than that, by the time we retire. And he's saying that if he were to do it starting now, he couldn't make as much money, so you really have to start when you're younger. That's the power of compounding interest. Well, we basically were doing problems just like that in my economics class, and it was weird because it made me think of that video, and I didn't go back and find it because it was a long time ago, but I like returned to it mentally, and it was crazy because I missed the Vlogbrothers, and I love watching John and Hank talk, and so I went back and watched a whole ton of it this week, and I'm glad I did. I know I said in the very beginning way back that I wasn't going to talk about baseball much because I know that you guys won't understand it, but I do sort of want to explain why I feel like completely and totally high on life right now because of 2 baseball games that happened last night. I'm going to try to do it very quickly. So basically what's happening right now is that there's one team who was 4.5 games back in the wild card, which means they're basically out in their division race, but in the 3 different divisions that are in my league, there's a secondary race for like 1 extra team gets to go. My team was 4.5 games back, so I had to follow both my team's game and the division or the wildcard leaders game. The wildcard leaders are the Braves, right, from Atlanta, and Atlanta basically got massacred by the Mets, who are my other favorite team, but that's a completely different point for Thursday night. The Mets scored 11 runs over the course of the first 4 or so innings. It was beautiful. Oh my god. So pretty much from the middle of the game on, you knew who was going to win. So it wasn't like there was too much drama in that, but scoring 4 runs in the first and then 4 runs in the fourth just made my night because I knew it wasn't my team could lose and we still wouldn't lose any ground, but I really, really wanted to gain ground. But the other game was a lot more intense throughout because you really didn't know who was going to win. Until the 8th inning, it was tied 1-1. It had been a major pitcher's duel. It was like, super intense. But then in the 8th inning, a guy from my team hit a home run. So in the bottom of the 8th inning, when the other team was up, there was the most intense at bat that I've seen in a long time. It must have been 8 or 9 pitches, and the second to last pitch was the longest foul ball I've ever seen. It was probably a couple yards foul, so it was almost a home run. And it was in the second deck, which means it was really, really deep. At first I thought it was a home run, but then it wasn't, which was awesome. Anyway, he struck out, so that was good, and it ended the inning, which ended the threat, which meant that we were still up by 1. But then in the bottom of the 9th, that same team was up, which means I was just hoping 3 more outs and the game would have been over. But 2 misplays in right field meant that they scored a run and tied the game, which meant we were going to go to extra innings. And so, tied at 2, nobody scored in the 10th, my team scored twice in the top of the 11th, and just... you have to understand, I was jumping around and dancing like this. Like, seriously, I'm not even kidding, I was that excited. We can do it, but it's still kind of nerve-wracking. And it's really exciting though, because we have a chance, so at least we're involved in some sort of race. Like, a month ago, a lot of people had written my team off thinking they had no chance to make the postseason, but there's a chance, there's a chance. Was it just me, or did that look wildly inappropriate? I meant to be going like this. Sorry. DFTBI!